Welcome back to the deep dive. For years, we've talked about leaders using AI, the analytics dashboards, the efficiency boost, all those classic data retrieval tasks.
Right.
But the landscape has, it's completely shifted over the last, 18
Well,
months.
completely.
Now, with these incredibly sophisticated agents and co-pilots, leaders aren't just using AI anymore. They're fundamentally leading with AI.
That's the critical distinction, isn't it? The whole focus has moved. It's no longer about how fast a model can pull some information for you. It's about how well the leader can structure the decision itself.
So the bottleneck isn't the tech.
Not anymore. We see it in all the source material. The biggest, most persistent bottleneck to scaling AI isn't the power of the model. It's kind of the leader's own clarity about their decision process.
Okay, let's unpack that. Because when we talk about leaders in AI, it's not one thing anymore. It feels like there are maybe three distinct ways people are interacting now.
There are, and again, this is, I think, the first step. So leaders are making decisions in three ways. First, you've got through AI. That's the historical mode.
Analytics, predictive models, that kind of thing.
Exactly. Then second, you have with AI. That's where agents and co-pilots live, actively helping with the workflow, synthesizing options.
And the third one is the big one.
It is. It's about AI. This is the design, the governance, and the safe delegation of action to these systems.
So that's our mission for this deep dive then. We've pulled this directly from the strategy sessions we reviewed, and it really gets to the heart of all three. It's this. You have to design the decision before you even start thinking about designing the agent.
Yes.
If you can clarify the human part of that equation, the technical part, that's what becomes scalable. And the payoff is, it's huge. Clarity leads to consistency, which lets you get speed and eventually massive scale.
It's the highest leverage thing a leadership team can do right now. If you can define the boundaries of a decision, you can start delegating safely and reliably.
Which brings us to this core mindset shift, right? It sounds almost too simple, but it's missed all the time. Structure beats raw computing power. Every single time.
Absolutely. Think of it like this. If the decision is fuzzy, the output will be fuzzy, period. But if the decision is structured, that agent becomes a force multiplier.
So you're saying the agents need guidance, not just more power.
They need guardrails. If you just hand an agent a vague goal, like, say, maximize our market presence, what do you get? Inconsistent results, maybe risky ones. It has to know the exact boundaries.
It's like telling a Formula One car to go fast somewhere versus putting it on a world-class racetrack.
That's a perfect analogy. The track, the structure, is what lets it hit top speed safely.
So we need a mental model for this, for blending the human judgment with the machine. What does that architecture look like?
It breaks down into three distinct layers, and leaders have to be really, really clear about which layer they are responsible for.
Okay, layer one has to be the human part, right? Human judgment.
That's it. This is where you provide all the non-negotiables. The company's values, the hard strategic constraints, your risk appetite, the long-term vision. It's the why and the how far. An AI can't invent your ethics.
But how do you structure something as fuzzy as risk appetite? That's where people get stuck. They know they have it, but they can't digitize it.
Well, you don't digitize the feeling. You translate it. You translate it into explicit constraints. For instance, no decision with a potential liability over $100,000 without human review.
Or prioritize outcomes with a 90% certainty rate.
Over maximum immediate profit. Exactly. That translation is the leadership work.
Okay, that makes sense. So layer two, this is where the machines shine. AI reasoning.
This is all about synthesis. The machine is brilliant at finding patterns in huge data sets, generating options a human might miss. And this is critical. Surfacing second-order effects.
The consequences of the consequences.
Right. It handles the what-if part of the thinking, and it does it faster than any team ever could.
And then there's layer three, the one that makes it all work at scale. Decision models.
The operational engine. This layer handles the mechanics, the rules, the inputs, the thresholds, the exceptions. This is how a single decision approved by a leader can be processed 1,000,000 times across the company without any more human effort.
So if you're a leader getting ready to hand a task to an agent, you have to apply a quick checklist first. Are you asking it to approve something, recommend something, or just classify?
Exactly. You have to define the destination before you even turn the key. What does success look like? Is the goal just to organize information, or is it to, initiate a financial transaction?
Yeah.
Because the criteria for the latter needs to be 10 times stricter.
And that leads us to the most critical distinction in this whole deep dive, separating the commitment from all the messy context around it.
Yes, this is where it gets really impactful. Because when we say we're making a decision, we're usually talking about what our sources called a decision soup.
A wonderful term. And that soup is
Yeah.
everything, right?
Right. It's everything. Leaders just mash it all together, gathering the info, debating, weighing emotions, negotiating trade-offs, stakeholder comms, and then finally choosing. And they call all of that the decision.
But you can't automate a soup. It's too complex, too many variables.
You can't. So the breakthrough clarity is this. A decision is the moment of commitment and nothing more. It is that explicit binary choice. Will we do X? Yes or no? Approve or reject?
Everything else, all the debate, the analysis, that's just context. It's thinking.
It's thinking, and that separation tells you exactly what Layer 2 AI reasoning can handle and what Layer 1 human judgment must own.
So the AI supports the thinking process. It evaluates the inputs, tests scenarios, all of that.
Correct. But it can't, and it shouldn't own the commitment, not unless it's been explicitly designed with super strict boundaries. The accountability, that moment, that still belongs to the leader.
Let's make this real. The real estate case study from the mastermind sessions. Dennis, the manager evaluating a property.
Oh, that's the perfect example of decision soup. The team was just drowning. I mean, they had zoning rules, cost structures, traffic studies from decades ago.
The decision felt paralyzing.
It felt enormous. And if he had tried to delegate that entire soup to an AI agent,
We would have been a mess.
ambiguity.
Total ambiguity. The agent might have spit out something that looked analytically correct, like a 15% ROI, but maybe it violates the company's risk appetite or some strategic goal. The output would be unusable.
But when they applied the separation commitment versus context, what happened?
Clarity happened. They realized the zoning, the traffic, all that complexity, it was just criteria. It was context to inform the commitment. The decision itself was tiny.
Should I approve the immediate pursuit of this property? Yes or no?
That's it. The complexity moved from the commitment layer down to the analysis layer. And once they did that, they could build a model where an agent crunched 99% of that analytical labor, making the final human decision almost trivial and fast, which makes the logic reusable and AI ready. This is what feeds into that design checklist. You have to ask, what are the deal breakers? And maybe most importantly, what conditions require immediate escalation to a human?
That escalation rule is your safety net. You have to define the boundaries of failure for the agent. Edge cases, bad data, high variance outcomes,
Anything touching those boundaries goes straight back to a person.
straight back to the human judgment layer. No questions asked.
And this distinction, analysis versus commitment, it also helps decide how much effort to put into building the model in the first place, right? Based on frequency.
Yes, frequency is everything for ROI. You get two buckets. First, one-time decisions.
Buying a competitor, launching a whole new product line, the big strategic, often emotional stuff.
Exactly. You definitely benefit from structuring the criteria for those, but you probably won't build a fully automated model. It's just not worth the effort for a one-off.
But then you have the other bucket, many time decisions.
And this is the goldmine. The operational bread and butter. Qualifying sales leads, approving a purchase request under $5,000, classifying support tickets.
Things that happen thousands or millions of times.
So for these, you absolutely should structure the criteria meticulously. The modeling effort pays for itself a million times over in scale.
Okay, so this brings us to a really important bright line that leaders need to draw for safety. AI as an advisor versus AI as a decider.
This is where a lot of organizations are struggling right now, especially with compliance.
AI as advisor, that's the comfort zone. That's ChatGPT drafted a summary for me. It's lightweight, it's exploratory, and the organizational risk is pretty low. You're still accountable.
But AI as decider, that's a whole different game. That's the agent operating inside a live workflow, acting on your behalf without direct human approval on every step,
So the difference between an AI recommending a vendor,
versus an AI automatically approving a $50,000 payment to that vendor. One is thought support, the other is action delegation.
and if you were delegating action, if you're using an AI as a decider, you're essentially creating a contract with that agent. So what does that contract require?
There are 6 essential elements, and you need them defined before you deploy. First, explicit criteria that link back to strategy. Second, hard thresholds and stop conditions.
Like, if output uncertainty is over 10%, stop.
Exactly. Third, defined risk boundaries, translating that human judgment into actual monetary or operational limits.
Okay, what about the operational side? The control and visibility.
That's 4, 5, and 6. Fourth, robust error handling. What happens if a data source goes offline? Fifth, clear escalation rules for when a human must step in. And finally, number 6, mandatory audit logs.
You have to be able to explain months later why it did what it did.
The log isn't just a record. It's the accountability mechanism. It has to record not just the outcome, but the specific criteria that were met or not met that led to that action.
So that's the ultimate leadership mandate here. It goes right back to the beginning. You don't teach the agent how to decide. You teach it the conditions under which action is safe.
That is the essential bridge.
Yeah.
It connects that high-level human judgment to automated, scaled action. The leader's job is to define the boundaries. The agent's job is to follow them. It's that simple and that complex.
So when you pull it all together, what does this mean for an organization? I mean, the power you unlock by separating the decision from the analysis it's transformative. You get clarity, you get incredible speed, you get massive automation potential.
And you get scalable workflows. This isn't just about efficiency. This is strategic maturity. This foundational work connects directly to the highest levels of your AI strategy, especially governance and vision. You can't have strong governance if you can't even articulate the rules.
And the urgency is real. AI is moving from being an assistant to an agent to, soon, a collaborator.
And if leaders don't clarify their decisions now, they risk, frankly, delegating based on wishful thinking. They inject ambiguity into their operating model and they lose control.
But the ones who master this clarity,
They'll automate with confidence. They'll strengthen their governance. They will build these reusable decision models that are ready for whatever powerful agents come next. Those are the organizations that are accelerating into the next wave of AI native operations
safely and at scale.
because they structured the logic first.
So as you prepare for that next wave, here's a final thought for you to chew on, something that cropped up in the discussions we reviewed. Reflect on your own business. Where have you noticed AI influencing expectations from your customers, your teams, your board, faster than you anticipated? And think about how that shift in expectation requires you to structure or clarify one specific high-volume decision right now to stay ahead.
Until the next deep dive, keep clarifying that commitment. We'll talk soon.